This is normally when the bed kicks in.
Do we talk over the bed?
We talk over the bed, and it normally gets me all excited and stuff.
Okay.
But I've got to say welcome to Michelle, who is on RandomRadioDotCom.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so we've been eager to have you over.
Yes.
We've known each other for years. You, in fact, were the first person to tell me how depressing that morning was. Yeah.
I cried for hours and hours and hours, and I cried the whole day, and I cried myself to sleep. And then I woke up and I was 30 in a day, and I just didn't care anymore. I was like, yeah, whatever. Let it all hang out. It's just weird. In the 10 years that we've now known each other from 1999 to date, the things that go. Your mind, I suppose, and in your memory. We had an interesting situation with my boss, who shall remain nameless. Her name is and her phone number is 082. Look, she pays my salary. And she sends out a message to all of us, colleagues and friends. And I get this SMS because her wife, we're proactive and pro everything, is turning 40 and they're now having a party. Apparently, I get an SMS saying, surprise birthday party, 16th of April. Everybody be there at 3 o'clock. It's going to be awesome. I'm like, okay. And the end of the message says, there will be a birthday list, but discount vouchers would be greatly appreciated, which I consider to be a little random. Her wife doesn't shop. She's a CA. She orders things online and they get delivered by like naked women with golden wings. They don't need to shop in places like discount.
Okay.
But I thought it was perhaps a little odd. And the next day she says to me hysterically, oh dear God, what am I going to do for this person's birthday? I'm really stressed. I say to her, don't worry about it. I mean, you're going to have this party. And there's sort of a blank.
Did anyone close the door?
I think there was door closing happening. I was maneuvering my 3-month-old child into our very little office.
Yeah.
With the aircon on like 16 to optimize nipple standage. And I mentioned that we're having the party.
Yeah.
And then she confesses that she has no recollection whatsoever of sending out over 150 SMSs to everybody that she knows. And then the replies obviously started coming in of, won't be able to make it, so sad. We love Dischem too.
Okay.
Yay! And she just thought, what the fuck? But the long and the short of it is, we are now having a surprise party on the 16th of April at 3 o'clock. Everyone's welcome.
I'm going to come at 3:15 and apologize profusely.
For being late.
Yeah.
With your clicks voucher.
With a clicks voucher.
Saying Dischem was sold out.
That's it. And I found better. And I'll even put a clicks club card. What is it?
A clicks clit card.
That's it.
Last year I was quite heavily pregnant, and for those of you that don't know, when you are pregnant, your sex drive disappears. However, like every self-respecting woman, I have a box of tricks.
Okay.
Just because
You're talking about like
vibrators, dildos, lube, stuff like that. These are important
What is the
things.
lube for? Because I can understand from a male to male.
Hey, like everyone gets dry. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everyone gets dry.
Continue.
It's not like I need a kiss. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Lady Gaga.
Okay.
And there just seem to be very, very few panties, and the drawer just wasn't sounding right.
Right.
You nod like
Yeah,
you know.
I
You
don't.
nod like you know.
No, I'm shaking the other way. Like I'm like that would be the most horrific experience I could ever go through.
It was a couple
is
of
buy a
glasses of
dildo
wine.
with my mom.
And my mother actually paid for it too. And it turns out, in 2010, domestics no longer take sugar.
Right.
They take your vibrator.
So then you had a TRC. What is it? No, Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
Jules rocks up there in her True Religion knockoff.
That's very African, by the way.
Julia. Yeah,
Jules.
it is Jules. Julia Kebabs. Wanders in her tight jeans and her top, and I would never throw Old Faithful out. I mean,
She's been there since the sex talk with mommy.
exactly, you
Right.
know, since my first Patrick Swayze fantasy.
What
Only
are you
in South
more
Africa.
appalled with? The crime of stealing or the fact that she's using it right now?
Well,
A picture of Wesley Snipes.
I can't. I just owe a picture of me because she took my underwear with her.
Wow.
Psycho.
I used to be able to hold it in.
I don't know
There's
if
a
it's
problem
old
now.
age or if it's the N1. This is the thing we need to talk about seriously.
No, because I mean, I have this thing about now farting everywhere.
The old FU.
That's it, And
The
now,
Gillian McKeith number 4, which is what we're all after. You know what the Gillian
No.
McKeith number 4 is? It's some show on BBC where they rate your poop. And like the
What?
she's got like a scale of 1 to 10, and the 4 is the one that you're now. And it's just unbelievable because I don't want to be funny. the first thing I do after I've had a poop is not leap up and check it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, when I was in hospital, like every doctor has to ask me what the color of your stool is. So I was like, well, it's a mahogany at home.
Yeah.
And
it's covered in fabric.
So high.
Yeah.
Goggle it.
I mean,
well, I don't know about you, but I took Dalcolex. They sent Dalcolex to everyone in the station for some other reason.
Is that that thing where you feel all happy and
there's a chick bouncing on a trampoline.
Yes,
right,
the trampoline.
which I'm still yet to understand why her husband and her friends are throwing her up and down.
While her stomach's upset. I mean, do they not know better? She could blow at any moment. She's Dalcolex.
So, and listen, the truth is, one sachet and
it works.
Listen, I think I must have hit jackpot about 8 times in an hour and a half.
Holy crap! To knipe.
That's it.
Like you used to.
To turtleneck it. This is
the thing, and then the foxholing begins. And unfortunately, this could occur between Allendale and...
It's always there.
That's usually where it happens. And you sort of go, and the sweat's running down your face. And eventually the Lamar's breathing sort of kicks in. There's 1,000, maybe 200,000 cars ahead of you. The Caltex is but a mirage in the distance. And there's a certain point after the sweating, the crying. Because now at this point you're crying like a small baby.
And found a petrol station of which they lied. They had no toilet.
Oh, sweet God.
And all I can tell you is there was an audience. There was an audience, and there was a tire, an icy solution.
I'm telling you, completely different setup. Really had to go dash on in there, forget, it's so desperate, there's no toilet paper checking whatsoever, just a massive explosion, and then the realization of my handbag's in the car.
Now I wet cheeks.
I wipe my bum with a roster. When I have to sign in and clean with that. I completely forgot about this until this really phone. I just remember thinking, I've got to do something. So that little list of all the people, I just yanked it off the wall and did what I needed to do.
Didn't you even take some time to maybe look at it and say, okay, look, go to management afterwards and say, look.
It just, the moment just didn't lend itself to that, really. Thinking, what customer would come in and steal our roster? And I thought I was being quite innovative, but what can you do? What can you do?
You can almost solve rocket science in that situation. You're like, well,
yeah.
When in cartoons they're hungry and they see everyone like a walking chicken.
Yes.
I saw Ty and I saw
little
bowl.
You're the most beautiful toilet you have ever seen.
5-star Hilton.
Chanel number 5 in the cistern.
All right, so advice. You've been through quite a couple of
traumatic gastric incidents.
Just generally, you've had a baby. You know what I'm saying.
Go before you leave the house. From about your real 28th birthday to your fake 28th birthday to your second 30th birthday. This is when you want to start being careful. Okay. That's my advice to all the random listeners. 2 Emodiums, hope the best.